hello, and ho, ho, ho. Welcome to your favorite bad movie podcast. It's the only podcast that's brave enough to ask the question, if this movie is so jolly, why do you like it so much? We're your hosts. My name is Chris Anderson, and with me, as always, I have the Olivia to my Crystal, Mr. Greg Bossy. How are you?
Yes, hello, Chris. I am doing well today. I've dusted my Lego, so I feel productive.
Okay, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, how are you?
Oh, not bad. I had some really good biryani for dinner.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
It was.
All
And we
right.
also, of course, have my wonderful wife and the selector of this week's movie, the Pete to my Derek, Mrs. Anna Anderson. Hello.
Hi there.
How are you doing, my dove? Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you, my heart. I'm doing all right.
We're recording this before Thanksgiving, but listeners,
Yeah,
we're
it's fine.
making sure to get that
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
It's
Yeah.
not like I hope you have a shitty Christmas.
No, none of us
No.
want that.
No. And how could I when the tone has been set for me by your fantastic pick, Dear Santa. Now, listeners, if you haven't seen Dear Santa, and this is the 2011 Dear Santa, not the Jack Black 2024 Dear Santa.
Yes.
Here's a brief summary to hold in your mind. When Crystal Carruthers finds a stray letter to Santa wafting on the breeze, she opens it to find it contains a little girl's wish for a new mommy to marry her widower father. And so Crystal decides to seduce the grieving single parent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely it. Yeah.
Yep.
Fair to say?
Yeah. And you also captured the weird parts of it.
There is a weird core in this.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to imagine that's part of why you picked this one out, my dove. Why did you choose
Yes,
Dear
yeah.
Santa?
Well, I don't remember exactly when I first watched it. It would have been with you. You know, we would have seen
Yeah.
it on a streaming service when we were looking at cheap Christmas movies. And
Mhm.
although this one isn't nearly as cheap as some of the ones we've watched, certainly The Boy Who Saved Christmas
Yeah.
Yeah.
was much cheaper than this one. Yeah, I remember picking it because it stars Amy Acker, and I've been a fan of hers since Angel. You know, it's
Okay.
not her fault
Okay.
that Joss Whedon is a creep. I think he was specifically like, well, I don't know, like he didn't treat the actresses who worked with him very well. And I think
Yeah.
she was one
Yeah.
of them. But she stars in this, and I think that she's just charming.
Yeah.
And I also remembered that it had a premise that if you looked at it outside of the context of a romantic Christmas movie is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Like
true.
it happened to be on our Plex. On our Plex, it falls directly between Dear Evan Hansen and Deathbed, and it's interesting how it doesn't not bear a slight resemblance to the premise of Dear Evan Hansen from what I know of that movie
Yeah, no.
and musical.
There is both letters and lies involved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not remember this one, but we watched so many of like the holiday romances. A lot of them do tend to blend together.
Yeah.
And not necessarily in a bad way. I don't think you're watching, your average Lifetime Christmas movie for surprises.
No.
You're watching, they're very soothing, easy watches. So I did not recall this one, but I had a great time watching it this time around. Greg, had you seen Dear Santa? Do you have a background with Dear Santa or
No.
Lifetime movies?
So I had thought that this was a Hallmark movie because I've watched a lot of Hallmark movies with my mom. So I was like, oh, it's a Hallmark movie. I know what I'm getting into. And then like halfway through at some point, I was like, this doesn't feel like a Hallmark movie. And it's like, oh, right. I said Hallmark. This is a Lifetime movie. So this is cut from a slightly different cloth. And it shows, definitely. But I had no idea what this was. I watch a lot of the Christmas romances with my mom. I've had like 2 time periods where I was like between states moving. And they just happened to be over the holidays, so I would be kind of on the couch watching Lifetime movies with her. So I'm familiar with the Christmas rom-com format.
Fair enough.
This certainly falls into those patterns with its own unique spins on things.
Yeah, it's not entirely formulaic.
No.
I think it is a good example of the genre, but not because of its slavish reliance on the genre.
Yeah.
And I also, this is our first Lifetime movie that we've covered on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I do think that is worth shouting out.
I agree.
Yes. I have a whole segment on Lifetime movies later on.
I'm very excited for that.
Yes, I am too. Because I know you're going to slam dunk that research. Because you're incredible, my dove.
Thank you.
Do you guys want to hear the research I put into Dear Santa?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Dear Santa came out November 26, 2011 on the Lifetime Network, television for ladies.
Do you think that was the day after Thanksgiving?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It was directed by Jason Priestley.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
It certainly was.
You can tell.
It's got a sure hand behind the camera.
That's not quite what I was saying, but sure.
There are no taglines for this movie.
Wow.
First tagline-less movie. So Jason Priestley was born in Vancouver, British Columbia in 1969. He's most famous for playing Brandon Walsh on the primetime teen drama Beverly Hills 90210. But while he was there, he also directed 15 of those episodes.
He did.
Oh. I thought he was so dreamy. In the first, it was only the first couple of seasons that I watched any episodes, and it was semi-furtive because it was too grown up for me. I don't remember how old I was. 12, 13, the age that you really want to watch Beverly Hills 90210. And Jason Priestley was so hot. And also, I think it's weird that, I don't know, that Luke Perry and Shannon Doherty have both passed away. Because they're young,
Yeah.
Yeah, statistically, it seems unlikely. 90210 wrapped up in the year 2000. Since then, he's split his time and talent between behind and in front of the camera, sort of keeping a foot in both worlds.
Really?
Yeah, he made his feature film directing debut in 1999 with the film Bare Naked in America, which is a rockumentary about the Canadian novelty pop group The Bare Naked Ladies and their stunt tour.
Oh my goodness! Because they're a Vancouver band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had previously directed a video for them called The Old Apartment. One of their music videos, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So his other projects seem a little less personal. Between making Bare Naked in America and 2011, when Dear Santa came out, he made 7 other made-for-TV movies with titles like Good Night for Justice and The Other Woman.
Mm.
Yeah. So you could see him slowly working into that Lifetime lane.
Yeah.
His first Lifetime movie was Don't Cry Now, which he also starred in, which came out in 2007.
Okay.
Probably the fact that he could get a heartthrob like himself attached to the picture helped sweeten the pot for Lifetime, and helped Priestley get his foot in the door, in terms of directing for them. Now, it might not surprise you to learn that there's very little information available about the production of Dear Santa, a 14-year-old Lifetime original movie.
What?
I'm sorry. I couldn't work it out. I can tell you that it was filmed in Alberta, Canada. And it was a Canadian production with a budget of 3.95 million Canadian dollars.
Okay. It's all on screen.
Yeah. And do you think this was supposed to be Alberta? Was this supposed to be New York? I was under the impression it was supposed to be New York.
This was supposed to be New York for sure.
I never thought that. I just thought of it as city.
Interesting.
Yeah. What made you think it was New York coded? What made you?
I think because they were clearly an American family, and that were well off, in terms of the the main character Crystal.
Sure.
And was there an establishing shot of stock footage at the beginning of New York? Maybe. It feels like the kind of thing where there
remember.
I don't recall.
For me, it was the designer store and the big Christmas tree / the skating rink, which I put together to be Rockefeller Center, but it's possible that they were never in the same shot, and I just Kuleshov them into New York. It's perfectly possible it wasn't really trying very hard trying even less hard than Girls Just Want to Have Fun tried to be Chicago.
Now that I think about it, I remember the LOVE sign. It's like LOVE. I feel like that might be New York. I feel like I've seen that in New York, but nothing else seemed that way to me.
Yeah, you can tell that it was shot in. It wasn't actually shot in New York, but it might have been playing the role of New York, or it might have been playing the role of fucking Gotham City. Who knows?
Right, it might have been playing the role of anywhere in North America for whoever might happen to be seeing this.
Yeah. Now, they needed a lead for their picture, and for this one, they got Amy Acker as Crystal Carruthers. Acker had mostly worked in television at this point. Her biggest role was a series regular on Angel. But other notable performances include a recurring character on Dollhouse, I guess working with Whedon again. She had a very minor character named Miggy in Catch Me If You Can. And she also had the leading role in a movie William Shatner directed / starred in for Full Moon Pictures called Groom Lake. So that does make this movie technically 2 degrees of separation from Evil Bong.
Okay. I wouldn't mind was it called Groom Lake?
I downloaded Groom Lake. I'm very curious about Groom Lake. Yeah, I saw a lot of reviews comparing it to Neil Breen. That's William Shatner's Neil Breen.
Yes. Okay.
So we'll be digging into that one, listeners. Other Christmas movies of 2011. You got the big hit from that year, as I recall, the Netflix original A Princess for Christmas. You got Arthur Christmas, I believe about Santa Claus's relative.
I was hoping it was about the 1980s comedian or comedy, Arthur.
Yeah, he should come back and have a Christmas special like Pee Wee Herman did, but it's Arthur. You also got A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas.
Okay.
Harold and Kumar still going strong. They should bring those guys back. I'd watch another one.
Yep.
Beethoven's Christmas Adventure.
That sounds fun.
And as we know, there's a Barbie movie every year. This time it was a Christmas movie, Barbie: A Perfect Christmas.
I hope it was.
Yeah, she deserves it.
She does.
She works so hard.
Yeah, she's a doctor. She's an astronaut.
She's got to make decisions.
When does she just get to be Barbie?
Yeah.
Hopefully at Christmas. You guys want to talk about the plot of Dear Santa?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Block bumper, listen to me. I'm gonna give you the plot summary. Come on, baby, here's the synopsis. Block bumper, block bumper.
Once again, we find ourselves with a very plot-heavy movie. This film is filled with incident.
Well, that's what happens when you lie and deceive.
Yeah,
You
that's
create
true.
complications.
There's also a lot of incidents around Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a busy time of year. It's hectic.
Yeah.
I think that sense of hecticness does read Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So we open on a city street, perhaps New York City? And our credits are looking cheap. That's our first sign that this might be kind of a cheap production. But we see our heroine, Crystal Carruthers, and she has a shopping list with a bunch of expensive stores on them. Coach, Prada, a third store. And then we see a humble mail carrier collecting letters from out of the blue box when this oafish amateur lets a gust of wind blow all of the letters all over the street. Truly an embarrassment to the service. So much so that he does not notice that one of the letters flies directly into non-postal hands.
Yeah.
And then locks up the box and just continues on his merry way. She stuffs the letter in her pocket because a sales girl comes out of the store that she's in front of. She's like, you should buy this red dress. It's the last one and it's in your size. And she's like, yes, red dress, and goes inside. And then she goes home. And at home, she FaceTimes with her mother, who is on vacation, I believe, at Hedonism 2. And she's telling her daughter that she needs to either get a job or find a man by Christmas, or else she's getting cut off. No more family money.
It's a great bit of exposition.
Yeah.
It's like, you're 30 years old and you blah, 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 and this is what I need, and I'm doing this, and so you have to do this by this time or we'll do that. And it's just like, great, thank you for setting it all up.
Yes. And it gives us the information that Crystal has never had a job. You know, she's never had a serious relationship. Her main interest seems to be shopping. She seems to be basically a 30-year-old Cher from Clueless.
Yeah, she's a flibberty gibbet.
Yeah. She reminded me a lot of the sort of protagonist that, Anna, you always tell me you like in like fiction, of like sort of a bad girl, not like a girl that's trouble, but a girl who's like doesn't have a moral compass.
I would say that she reminds me just a little bit of the heroine of Otessa Moshfe's My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Except that gal sedates herself for a year, and then 9/11 happens. It's a weird book, but I loved it.
Okay. Yeah, she is similarly checked out of reality in her own way. And so, yeah, she's about to get cut off, has to figure it out by Christmas. Bad time to go job hunting, I'm going to say, the week before Christmas. I think Mom is really setting her up for failure here.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. It was only a week before Christmas?
Something like that. I mean, it's already the holidays. That's for sure. People are already writing letters to Santa.
Yeah, just you saying that, I realized I have no idea of the time period that this film takes place over.
The holidays.
Yeah. A lot of it seems to take place at like night. Like it's almost a perpetual night, really. Except for when it's not. It's weird.
Yeah, there is sort of that TV lighting where everything's sort of flat. So at some point, Crystal finds the letter in her coat pocket, and she decides, oh, hey, let me just open up this child's letter to Santa Claus. I don't give a shit about anything.
Federal offense. I wrote that down. I was like, that federal offense. What is she doing here? What is this?
Crystal pops it open for her own nefarious purposes. Perhaps her sick, twisted sense of fun.
Mm.
And she finds in there a letter from Olivia, a little girl. And the little girl says that she doesn't want any presents this year. Classic thing to write in a letter to Santa in this type of movie. We saw the same thing in The Boy Who Saved Christmas. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want presents. She just wants a new mom for her widowed father, Derek. And Crystal thinks, yeah, a new mom.
Like, and she doesn't word it as "I want a new mom." She asks Santa for a new wife for my dad, which is, I think, a weird way to word it.
Crystal's perhaps a precocious child.
She's a little more concerned about her father than herself.
Yeah, she's probably the reason why their house is spotless all the time. But Crystal immediately thinks that this would be perfect for solving her situation. She's like, I need to find a man. Here's a single man. I'll go just marry him by Christmas.
It's easy.
Then I won't get cut off. And I can keep shopping. So she immediately drives out to their return address, even though they showed the exterior of the envelope and there was clearly no return address written on there. So I got to ask you guys, is this a grotesque thing to do?
So I think the fact that while she goes there, she has to keep ducking down in the car so that no one sees her doesn't really cast these actions in a great light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I don't want to be observed doing what I'm doing, because even I understand that maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. I feel like even in the context of the movie, this is a little boundary crossing.
Yeah.
But it also shows that Crystal needs to grow, I guess. Yeah. That she has some growing up to do that she'll do throughout the course of the film.
I think it's one of these things that's in a movie where it's just like, we're going to show someone doing something that we know is so wrong that it explains their ineptitude. It's like, but it also crosses some lines, and I wish you could find a way to do it without crossing some lines. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there might be a way to do that. I also feel like there's an easy way to get her to continue the plot without having to like stalk him while still getting the letter, and keeping it a little like, is this a good or a bad thing? Is somebody going to be upset, without it kind of actually moving into stalking, which is kind of where it goes a little bit.
A little bit. So do you have a fix-in time? Do you want to do a quick fix-in time?
Well, the thought that I had is, it's just like, what if you have basically the same premise where like the letter blows up and she's trying to give it back, and then someone talks about the dress, so she just stuffs it in. And then she goes back to the restaurant or whatever to try to give it to somebody, to be like, I found this. I shouldn't have it. I didn't know what to do with it. And then sees him, and then maybe opens up the letter accidentally, or at that point, like leaves. It's like, I forgot. And then, the opening of the letter is the tough part.
Yeah.
Because you kind of can't accidentally open the letter.
No, it's true. She does go and spy on them. She sees them coming out of their house, father and daughter. At this point, I leaned over to Anna and said that what they should have done is made the family Asian and then have her go, okay. I think that would have been a funny moment. But we see that he runs a snow removal company because he drives a plow with his name on it.
He's Mr. Plow.
He's Mr. Plow. That's his name.
It's a great touch.
So he takes Olivia out for some breakfast milkshakes before then driving her back home and leaving her with a babysitter so he can drive down to his other job, which is the soup kitchen that he runs. So Crystal follows him inside, and he assumes that she's a new volunteer and introduces himself. He's like, oh, hi, I'm Derek. He's like, oh, I'm Crystal. I love soup kitchens. Yeah. And then he has her serving with him up front so he can keep an eye on her and show her the ropes. And, obviously a spoiled rich girl, she's a real fish out of water in the homeless shelter. Or the soup
Obviously,
kitchen,
she physically recoils from a homeless man.
Yeah.
And Derek is like, you get used to it, which I also think is a strange way of putting it.
Yeah, it was a little weird when I wrote down, he said, they're just like you and me. Well,
yeah.
It's weird that you said that. Obviously, they're just like you and me. They're just people. Now, after service, Crystal goes back into the kitchen and she meets Pete Kennedy, the gay, classically trained chef that works at the soup kitchen for some reason.
Wow, how do you know he's gay?
Well,
yeah.
Well.
As soon as I saw the uniform, I write little notes so I know where I'm at in the plot. And as soon as I saw him, it wasn't like back in the kitchen. I just wrote, "Oh no," as the place we're at in the plot premise.
He's wearing a pink chef's toque and chef's coat, and he's also wearing lipstick, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's great. It really reads.
Yeah.
He's what we used to call flamboyant.
Yeah, and he serves as sort of the gay friend character, saying things like, "I know, isn't he scrumptious?" and "Honey, don't get me started." That kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, I also liked about Pete that he was very Canadian. He was clearly one of the local cast.
Mm-hmm.
So Pete reveals that Derek took over the soup kitchen when his wife died. So that's why he has two jobs. And that's why he's, he's still grieving his wife through the soup kitchen. But it is very funny that our heroine is so evil and this guy is running a soup kitchen in memory of his dead wife.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
that's a good part of the premise. I like that it gives her that much of a hurdle to overcome.
Yeah,
but I cut you off.
Comically good. Oh no, he's comically good, which makes up for the fact that he's otherwise a cipher. But that's fine. He's all that he has to be because the movie's not about him.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that they almost don't really interact for the first half of the film.
Yeah. He mostly just gets stalked by her.
Yeah, or there'll be like a moment where he'll be like, "Yeah, that's good. Good job." And that's it.
Yeah. But he is he's blandly handsome and he can brood a little bit to appear mournful. And that's pretty much all you need from this guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Crystal is intrigued by this blandly handsome, mildly broody man.
Who wouldn't be?
So she keeps volunteering. The next time she's there, Olivia stops by after school to practice her flute in the middle of the kitchen during service for some reason.
Great moment.
She's also terrible at it.
Yeah.
In her defense, I tried to play the flute when I was in 5th grade. We all had to take band and choose an instrument. I was like, I'll go for flute. This is hard. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's really hard.
Yeah.
And she hates it, so she doesn't even have the motivation to try.
Yeah.
But she's practicing, which is one of the hardest things to do. So good on her for that.
And Crystal talks to Olivia about it. She's like, "Oh, you seem to not be great at that." She's like, "Yeah, it's because I hate it." And then Derek comes over and he invites Crystal to help unload the food truck the next day in the morning. She's like, "I'll be there." But then she oversleeps and misses the shipment. She shows up late and Derek's like, "We got it. It's okay. Thanks anyway." And then on top of that, Derek's girlfriend, Jillian, shows up. Now, what did y'all think about Jillian?
She's fine.
Yeah.
She was a good villain.
Yeah. She does a good job with it. I feel like the two of them have fun kind of bickering with each other and fighting over him. So that was kind of fun to watch. I also would. I felt a little bit. I mean, obviously she's a little selfish, but I also felt a little bad for her that this is just kind of happening.
Yeah. If Crystal hadn't shown up, she could have gotten her happily ever after.
But it is very funny to me that the little girl was like, "I'd like a wife for my dad, not the one he's dating."
No.
Can I get a different wife for my dad than that person?
She's got bad vibes.
Yeah.
Indeed, she does.
No, she does, and the little girl's right. Like, all she does is talk about their old relationship.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very weird.
You could see people who have relationships like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's believable. Crystal is intimidated. This lady is a realtor. She does seem to like have her shit together and be an adult, which is one thing that Crystal is not. So later, Crystal commiserates with Pete while they go and grab a cup of coffee. She shows Pete the Santa letter, and he tells her that she's going to have to step it up. The way to win Derek's heart is to prove that she can be a mom. She's like, of course.
Yeah.
But also, is that something that I am ready for? But she's rushing headlong into love, or whatever her goal is.
Yeah.
That's one of the real problems. I don't understand what she's actually trying to do.
Yeah, because it's like, I got to fall in love with this guy. It's like, are you falling in love with him, or are you trying to fall in love with him?
Are you just trying to date him?
Yeah. What counts as success?
I don't know. She's invested in the idea that this letter blowing into her hand must mean something.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll fulfill this little girl's Christmas wish. And the wish just happens to be like not really something you can fulfill.
Yeah.
In that way.
So the next day, Crystal runs into them at the skating rink. Crystal and Olivia bond over the mean girls at school and their corny cherry lip balm. And they both enjoy ice skating. And Crystal used to do some figure skating, so she teaches her a move. But then Jillian rolls up. And even though they're ice skating? Even though they're ice skating, Jillian's the real ice queen. She puts the freeze on this whole situation. And starts boxing Crystal out. So the next day at the soup kitchen, we see that Jillian actually holds the homeless in contempt. Crystal, however...
That's why I say she's fine instead of she's great. Like, she does have flaws. And I think that while contempt for the homeless, while a very common flaw in society, is a more difficult flaw to have if you're trying to marry a guy who owns a soup kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah. Crystal, meanwhile, gives her scarf to Frank, the homeless man that swore 25 years ago to never again go through a door.
Old man MacGuffin.
Yep.
Yeah. They say he doesn't go indoors anymore. Not since then. She finds giving him a scarf so fulfilling that she runs home and she grabs a bunch of last year's hottest looks and gives them out to all the diners at the soup kitchen.
It's weird because she's like wrapping sweaters around people's heads like they're hoods. And everyone's just like, yeah. It's just like, you just have like a fuchsia cashmere shirt now. Great. I mean, it's nice. It's just weird. This whole sequence is very strange. Everyone's very excited to have a woman wrap shirts around their faces.
Yes, it's very strange. I feel like all of the clothing could better go towards helping the homeless by selling it and then giving them the money.
Yeah, that would make some amount of sense.
I don't know how many homeless people need a silk blouse.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but maybe you put it in your bag for when you get a job interview. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
It's not unnice to do it.
No, it seems strange. Yeah. But only if you look at it too closely. And this movie's not about looking at it too closely.
No, don't look too close at this one.
Right, yes.
It's not all good news, though. Derek gets an eviction notice. He owes $10,000 in back rent, and it's due by Christmas.
So I got a question here, and I don't want to sound like a fool, but how do you make a soup kitchen profitable?
I think it runs on donations.
That's what I thought. And so it was very weird to me. It's like, we can't make rent. It's like, are you charging people? Like, where do you get the money to run your soup kitchen? Because I would assume it would be like government subsidies or
maybe that
community,
or
something like this.
Yeah, well, and I would bet, I don't know, Pete has two businesses, right? I'll bet a lot of the money from the plow business is subsidizing the soup kitchen, but there's no way that it's enough.
Yeah.
So,
like an episode of Bar Rescue.
Exactly.
Still, Derek's like, oh, nothing I can't handle.
Naturally.
It is really funny, though, to imagine being and I'm sure they would happily do it, but being the, say, sheriff's deputy that shows up on Christmas Day to evict you from your soup kitchen if you were just there doing it anyway. You'd be like, I'm sorry, buddy. You are gone.
You got to get out of here.
Dump all the soup in the gutter. To add to Derek's worries, one of the plows at his plow business has broken down, and so he has to go take care of it. But luckily, Crystal is there, and she volunteers to watch Olivia while he goes out and takes care of this.
Pete volunteers Crystal to watch Olivia.
Oh, yes.
Pete, the classic gay wingman, slam dunking it. So Crystal and Olivia have girl talk, and Crystal orders a pizza for them after burning a can of SpaghettiOs.
Mm-hmm.
When Derek finally gets home, it's so late that Crystal ends up crashing on the couch. When Jillian shows up for brunch the next morning, she is visibly upset to find Crystal there. Understandable.
Yep.
Especially after the previous night, Olivia lied to her and said that they were out on a date together.
Mm-hmm.
I love that never really came up again. Because I would have thought she'd have been like, were you two on a date last night? But it was just like, you slept here last night? And it was as though that didn't happen. Maybe she just understood that the girl was lying.
Yeah, could be. She might have pieced it together. But then the next morning when she shows up and Crystal is there.
It's intriguing.
This ends up, the tension between the two of them leads to a whipped cream / whipped egg fight in the kitchen.
Two classic foods to fight with.
While washing up, Crystal finds the engagement ring that Derek has been sitting on. Jillian sees her finding it and tells Crystal to back off. Crystal, however, does not back off.
No.
And instead, she uses Olivia to set up another hangout, this time shopping for clothes.
Yay!
We get a little outfit montage.
Woo!
Not the best outfit montage I've ever seen, just because they don't really go crazy with the outfits.
No. But the one good thing about it is...
that's because Olivia's a child.
That might be.
But they could put her in like different goofy type of cool clothes. You know, they could have done something more extravagant with it. This felt like they just got the best clothes they could find in this Canadian department store. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I did like that he was always getting food given to him, and every time he'd be like, what the? Like, it was this huge reaction, like, oh, wine, oh, cheese. And every time he was like, oh, God, food. It was just weird to see it happen like 6 times.
Yeah, that was a good series of like gags that were very light. They weren't too extreme, you know, because you can't take big swings at comedy in a movie like this.
No,
right.
No.
It would make it roll like an egg. It just has to be sort of lightly funny. Everyone is very happy though. Olivia gets some new clothes and she says, today it really felt like I had a mommy.
Aww.
Great stuff.
Very
You love
nice.
to hear it.
Very
What did you guys think of Olivia? I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah, she's a cute kid. Delivered her lines.
Hmm?
Back at her house, Crystal gets another Skype call. This one from Mom saying she and Dad won't be returning from Hedonism 2 in time for Christmas. But it's there to remind us there is still a ticking clock about Crystal's allowance in the mix here. Then Olivia calls. She says that Derek is going out on a date and he's wearing a suit. But don't worry, Olivia's launched a plan to stop anything from happening. She calls the restaurant, or she calls her dad on his cell phone while they're at the restaurant, to say that she's sick, and so Derek rushes home before he can propose. Crystal has also come by. Olivia said that she called Crystal when she was worried she would be able to get a hold of her dad, and she asked if Crystal can tuck her in. And seeing how motherly Crystal is, Derek is now officially reconsidering proposing to the woman he planned on proposing to about an hour ago.
Yeah. No, and you've not gone on any dates.
No, but
he's not really interacted.
Not very much, but he wants someone that's good for Olivia, and
That's
he's
true.
seeing how good Crystal is with Olivia.
That's true.
Pete's advice was on the money on this one. There's also been a minor complication going on about Crystal lying about graduating from NYU in 2003. Go Violets.
Mm-hmm.
You were so happy.
Yeah, that was my year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crystal comes out about having lied about graduating from college because she's like, oh, I don't want you to think that I'm like a flake. And Derek says that's fine as long as you don't have any more lies for me. And she's like, well, I never said I didn't find you via a letter that your child wrote to Santa.
It's true.
She says she doesn't have any other secrets. So the next night, after closing up shop at the soup kitchen, this guy's at the soup kitchen 7 days a week.
It's true. He's doing a lot of work for that soup kitchen.
I mean, when they're that deep in debt, I guess you have to.
It's true. He should look into some grants. He should look into a grant program, probably.
Yeah, he needs to spend less time in the kitchen and more time in the office.
Yeah.
But Crystal notices that her car has been towed.
Her Range Rover.
Yes, she does have a Range Rover with windshield wipers for the headlights.
It's pretty good because she's like, somebody stole my car. And he's like, where'd you park it? She's like, right out front. He's like, you parked it in the tow zone? And she's like, yeah. And that was a beautiful little moment. I enjoyed that little exchange.
So Derek offers her a ride to the impound lot. But then he gets a call from a plowing customer while en route. So the two of them have to take a detour to plow a parking lot together, which they spend most of the night doing.
They have a great time doing it too. They love it's such a funny scene to me where they're just having a joke and a laugh over like plowing, because that is the kind of thing that two people who are actually falling for each other would joke and laugh about. But from the outside, you're like, wow, they really into it.
And it does sort of speak to my theory that like anyone else's job can be interesting for an hour.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He invites her to a work party at his house tomorrow night. So the next day, she picks out the perfect outfit, which is obviously the red dress from the window at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes to the party.
But it's more of an adults drinking wine vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She is definitely in full-on Babadook. No, everyone else there is, in sort of jeans and hoodies.
Yeah.
And she's there in a bright red cocktail dress.
But it does get her noticed by the appropriate parties. So kudos to Crystal.
Yeah, and as she says, she'd rather be overdressed than underdressed. Jillian is in full-on hater mode.
Yep.
And after Crystal leaves her clutch in the bathroom, Jillian sneaks a peek and finds the Santa letter inside. She put the Santa letter in her clutch for some reason.
I feel like she was going to try to tell him about it. I feel like that night she was trying to tell him about it. So maybe it was like, I got this letter. But yeah, it is a little ridiculous to bring it with her.
Yeah, I think you're right, Greg. I think she might have been carrying the letter in case she found an opportunity to reveal what had happened to Derek. Meanwhile, while Jillian is finding that letter, Derek asks Crystal out on a date out on the front porch. Boy, a lot is happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So by the time Crystal meets up with Derek for their date the next night, Jillian has told him about the letter. He is understandably upset and confused. I don't know how I would react to this.
Yeah, it puts you in an interesting position because he doesn't even know about the stalking part of it. So I don't know
Right.
if we could disregard that entirely. Like, I don't know how I would feel if it was like, so my daughter wrote a letter to Santa and this woman read it and then came to meet me and it turned out that we both really liked each other. Is kind of okay, but is also kind of weird.
I think he thinks that it's weird that she didn't mention it. And I think he thinks like going to his house and then going to the soup kitchen is inherently stalkery.
Yeah, and it is. And it is.
Yeah, and I think especially because it's a small child involved, you know.
Yeah.
I think that makes it worse for him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, do either of you know what day it is and what its relation to Christmas is? Because I swore it was like it's like Christmas Eve.
I think
not
it's
there yet. I don't think.
I think it's the day before Christmas Eve right now. I think this is the 23rd, but I might be wrong.
They could have done some like nice establishing shots of the dates with like an advent calendar or something. I don't know.
Just
Yeah,
super titles, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Something. So Derek calls Crystal a liar and calls off their date. Then to add to Crystal's misery, she gets a call from her mom saying, well, it's close enough to Christmas, so we're cutting you off. Other than one last $10,000 check, which you can find down in your mailbox. Judging by her apartment, I'm going to say that's going to cover maybe 3 months' rent.
Makes sense.
That night, Derek seems prepared to propose again to Jillian. And Jillian is looking very much like the cat who swallowed the canary. She's like, I told you couldn't trust her, Derek. Saying she graduated from NYU. I knew, what if she had done something to Olivia, this letter situation? I'm wonderful. But then he leaves without proposing. He still doesn't pop the question. And on his way home, he decides to drive by the old soup kitchen.
Yeah.
And it turns out the lights are inside. So this must be Christmas Eve now at this point.
Yeah.
He goes inside, and Pete explains that an anonymous donor paid all their back rent. So they've got at least another 3 months before they're back in this same situation. Good
Wait. But she had to turn the lights back on. It was closed. So it's Christmas. It's fucking
so
Christmas,
now it's
man.
Yeah, I think this is now Christmas Eve.
I thought it was Christmas Eve.
I think it's Christmas Day.
That would be really strange if it was Christmas Day and they didn't. No, I'm thinking they had closed that night because they're like, oh, we're not going to do Christmas Eve because, we're already done.
This was the way that I read it. He had to have the money in by the 23rd, and if it wasn't, it was going to be closed on the 24th. So the morning of the 24th, they close it, and then someone gives them the money, and then they're like, okay, well, then it's back open. And so then they open it up. I don't know if that timing works legally.
I feel like we've established that it's confusing.
It's
Both
sloppy.
Space and time are unexpectedly confusing in this romantic Christmas movie.
Yeah. It's sort of like they just kind of pushed out a script real fast without thinking a lot about it, I think.
Yeah. And once again, this is not a movie that benefits from a very close reading.
No, you put anything under a microscope and you're going to find faults.
Like they say in Dark Place, a pedant could see the strings. But, Pete explains the anonymous donor paid back rent. So then Derek goes home, but Olivia isn't there. Where's Olivia? She's run off. Crystal, meanwhile, is wandering around forlornly listening to some very generic music that will be our outro today.
Yes.
Oh, great.
They go to the big Christmas tree that they were all standing together earlier, and Olivia is there crying, and the two of them reunite. And then Derek shows up, and all three of them reunite, and they kiss. Derek and Crystal kiss. And then they go have Christmas dinner at the soup kitchen, and Frank, the man who never goes indoors, goes indoors.
Boom.
The end. Powerful.
Powerful. I do feel like, though, I would like to talk just a moment about Pete explaining to Derek why the letter is okay.
Okay, please do.
Because he's like, how did you meet Jillian? He's like, well, I was in line for the whatever, and I turned around because she blah blah blah. And he's like, that was fate, just like the letter. And it's just like, I feel like these two things are different because, like, if she had just found the letter and said, oh, I think you dropped this, that would be a similar situation. But he didn't turn around in line and then go to her house and follow her for a while and then get a job at where she works.
Yeah.
Those are two different stories.
It's very strange.
It's a little weird, yeah.
But at the same time, I can see where Pete's coming from. Like, everybody has to meet somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
this
it's
was
true.
obviously weird, but this will be a cute story. Just let it slide. You're being too uptight.
Let it be.
Yeah.
Plain as it lies.
I think Derek, by this point, by the end of the movie, is waiting to be talked back into hanging out with this woman who he likes a lot and who his daughter likes even more. You know?
Yeah. He just needs some time to process this to a point of understanding this.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because it's a complicated situation.
It's very complicated. A lot of ins, a lot of outs.
Final thoughts, 5-star ratings. Greg, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, so when talking about my ratings for this one, I realize I kind of have to talk about the way that I do ratings. So when I'm doing the ratings, when I'm talking about watchability, for me, it's the idea of like you the listener, want to watch a movie. And so for some reason, if you were to look at my ratings of the movies that we've done, the ones that have the highest ratings are most likely to be the ones that I think will be the most watchable at any time for any audience member. Although I do sometimes make it personal or have like a little caveat to it. You know what I mean? So for me, I think that putting a watchability rating on this movie is unnecessary because I think you already know based on the premise how watchable this movie is. It's not going to stray too far from what your idea of it is, despite the fact that it's a little weirder than you would expect it to be, you know already if you want to watch this movie. For me personally, I'm going to give it a 2 just because I've seen a lot of Christmas movies and this doesn't quite stray enough from it for me to pop it on some evening. But I will say that if someone's like, you want to watch that Jason Priestley Christmas movie, I definitely would watch it again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with watching this movie. It's just I've seen a lot of this formula before, and so it is tiring for me. So
I can understand that.
Yeah, but I think any listener here is just like, if you want to watch this movie, you're going to want to watch this movie. And if you don't want to see this movie, you don't want to see this movie. As far as weirdness goes, I'm going to say 2, just because it's not that weird at all, except for the parts that are pretty weird. And I think that just raises it up to a 2. You know what I mean? It just goes from 0 to 2 because of the whole stalker angle. Just some other weird little moments in it. But
I had a very similar experience to you, Greg, but I graded it more. I think of watchability as like just how easily you can sit down and watch this from beginning to end without it being like, oh, I'm having a hard time paying attention.
Sure.
Oh, this to me falls then at about a 4. I think this is a very smooth viewing experience. It's not something that's very watchable in like that you find yourself desiring to watch it specifically. This is more like something that you are in the mood for this type of thing.
Right.
And it delivers that type of thing. I'm going to say these holiday Lifetime movies are relatively interchangeable as long as they are sort of equal quality. And this is one of the better ones, I'm going to say. For weirdness, I only gave it a 1. I think there's always something a little bit uncanny about a movie where no one seems to be particularly famous and where no particularly memorable choices are made, but it is entirely competent. It's like watching an episode of a sitcom that was made in a foreign country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like going to a regional fast food place in a different part of America, and you're like, yeah, I'll take the Happy Shake.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's weird that they call them Happy Shakes. It's not that weird. It's just mildly weird.
Yeah.
What about you, my dove? This was your pick.
All right. Yeah, I would give this about a 4 for watchability. I think it goes down easy, like instant oatmeal. But I love instant oatmeal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of the things that I love about the coming of cold weather, is getting to eat instant oatmeal again.
All right.
And
the little things.
Yeah, I would say also for weirdness, I would agree. I would give it about a 2.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the premise is maybe, I don't know. I think that the dead mother is, I mean, it's not weird, really.
Yeah, that's sort of classic.
But it's
like My Three Sons.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's not that weird, except, as Greg said, when it is weird.
Yeah. Well, with that, let's move on to Act 3 of the show. My lovely wife has got a segment for us this week, and they're going to be talking about TV.
Yeah.
TV! We talk TV! You talk some TV!
Talking about TV! Talking about TV! Talking about TV! Oh, can't you see? We're talking about TV!
So, this week I'm talking about Lifetime.
Yes.
Right.
Lifetime was initially launched in 1984 as a women's network. At first, that was a mixture of talk shows and, like, health programming.
Okay.
It rebranded under the Television for Women tagline in 1994.
Okay.
Yeah. As of November 2023, it's still available to 63 million pay television customers in the US. Like, a lot of people still watch it. And it's currently 50-50 owned by Hearst Communications and the Walt Disney Company.
Okay. That makes sense.
Now, they have a lot of different type of programming, but obviously we're here to talk about Lifetime movies.
Hell
Yeah.
The first ones were created under executive Patricia Feely, who became head of programming in 1988 and changed 60% of the channel's programming over the next 3 years. She was apparently responsible really for bringing it out of it was kind of a cable backwater, one of the articles I've read said. The very first movie was 1990's Memories of Murder, starring Terror in the Isles alum Nancy Allen.
Nice.
As a woman with amnesia trying to figure out why a female killer is after her and her family.
Ooh.
Yeah, sounds
great
good.
stuff.
So this does obviously share a title with a 2003 Bong Joon-ho movie.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's probably not as good, but you can see that Lifetime hit upon the kind of movies that would make them famous, pretty much right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was harder than I expected, actually, to find a list of the movies. I think probably because they're TV movies and hence a lot more disposable, and also there'll probably be books, or if I did serious research, but
We have constraints.
Yeah, we have constraints. But since their debut, Lifetime movies have become so popular that they have a dedicated channel, Lifetime Movie Network, which spun off in 1998.
Oh, that's early.
Yeah. They've had their own streaming service, Lifetime Movie Club, since 2015.
Ooh.
They aired their 500th original movie in 2023.
Okay.
That was a two-parter called Murdaugh Murders, the movie.
Oh,
Murdaugh Murders, the movie?
Yeah.
That's tough.
I'm assuming this is about Alex Murdaugh, the disgraced lawyer. Yeah. That's a wild story. So
starred Bill Pullman as.
Ooh, God, I need to see this.
Yeah,
we gotta check out the Murdaugh movie.
The thing about these movies is that they do sometimes bring in an actor where you're like, that's probably a cool performance, you know?
Did they do the John Travolta O.J. Simpson trial movie?
No, that was FX, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So that movie was part of they have a regular true crime series called Ripped from the Headlines. They'll be like, here's our upcoming Ripped from the Headlines slate of 4 movies, airing on Fridays. They have other sort of sub franchises within Lifetime Originals, like they do a lot of biopics. They do a lot of programming aimed at Black women specifically. Like they did a remake of Steel Magnolias. When I was researching this, I learned that they also did a remake of Single White Female.
Oh,
obviously called Single Black Female, but that's also a fun idea. Yeah, and of course they do Christmas movies under the annual slate called It's a Wonderful Lifetime. I have one more factoid about Lifetime Christmas movies, and that's their first one was called Ebby in 1995, starred Susan Lucci as a gender-swapped Ebenezer Scrooge.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Now, did anyone notable ever come out of the Lifetime system that either you guys, anybody's aware of? I don't think I've ever heard of anyone.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't hear of it as like a breeding ground for talent.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, and I'm basing this kind of on Hallmark, but they have a tendency to like reuse the same people. Is that the case with Lifetime?
I think so, because we're going to talk about that a little bit in this week's game.
Fair enough.
All right.
We're going to be doing a little bit of Guess the Title with the writer of Dear Santa, Barbara Kimlicka.
Okay.
Sure.
Let me tell you about this brand new game where you guess the movie's name. You just tell me what the title is and prove you know all about showbiz.
Guess the title.
Whippa, 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 whippa.
Guess the title.
Gooby, 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 gooby.
Guess the title. Guess the title.
Come on, honey.
Guess the title.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, whoa, whoa. I gotta say, this is my favorite game, and that's my favorite bumper. If I'm being honest. So, yeah, we're doing films written by Barbara Kimlicka. She's written over 60 films, a lot of them for Lifetime, a lot of them for Hallmark.
Okay.
So I think they share talent, or maybe they poach from one another or have in the past. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a plot description of a film, and I'm going to give you 3 titles. I want you to tell me which one is the real title of the movie. You'll buzz in by saying your own name, and if your opponent gets it wrong, you will have the chance to steal. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, question number 1. When journalist Julia goes back home to find inspiration, she discovers her childhood friend has built a giant snow maze, which prompts her to find her way to true love.
Ooh.
Is that A Christmas Maze, Amazing Winter Romance, or Love in the Labyrinth?
Greg.
Anna.
I heard Greg first.
What was the second one? Was Amazing Christmas Romance?
Amazing Winter Romance.
Amazing Winter Romance.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah. When I saw that title just listed Amazing Winter Romance, I was like, what could that possibly be? And then when I saw there was a maze in it,
Yeah.
Barbara, you're on another level.
She sure is.
Question number 2. A jealous rivalry between 3 high school girls leads to a shocking crime. Is that Deadly Was My Classmate, the Lana Cowan story, Third Period Betrayal, or Death Click?
Anna.
Anna,
Death Click.
you've got it, my heart.
Wow. I really thought you made that one up, Chris.
No, she has got some great titles.
This is really
And
exciting.
I think that's a real tradition in Lifetime movies.
Mhm.
Is they always have really punchy grab you titles. Question number 3. Following the mysterious disappearance of her husband, a woman gives up the trappings of her wealthy lifestyle to move into an isolated tiny house. But that's where the real terror begins.
Oh.
Is this Tiny House of Terror, Stalked by My Architect, or A Small Plot?
Oh, man.
Anna,
Tiny House of Terror.
correct.
Wow.
Why complicate things?
I'm really glad that I was able to almost trick you guys with Stalked by My Architect and A Small Plot.
I wanted both of those to be it. I wanted all of them to exist.
Small Plot is really good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Question number 4. Inspired by a story idea following random acts of kindness at Christmas, a journalist reconnects with an old flame in her hometown. Is this Random Acts of Christmas, Christmas in Rhode Island, or Regifted?
Greg.
Greg,
Random Acts of Christmas.
you got it. You guys are on fire today.
With the spirit of Christmas, that is.
Yes. Question number 5. A teen's life turns upside down when her boyfriend impregnates both her and a new student at school.
Oh,
Wowee.
no.
Wow.
Is that Three's a Crowd,
Whew.
Double Daddy,
Ugh.
or We're Both Pregnant?
Ooh, Greg.
Greg?
We're both pregnant. Needed
No,
to say
I'm
it.
sorry.
Needed to say it.
Anna, can you steal?
Three's a Crowd?
No, I'm sorry. That was Double Daddy.
I was gonna.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
gonna say Double Daddy.
You know what it should be called?
Hmm?
What's that?
2 Girls Kill a Guy.
Yeah.
I believe a year later, she also wrote a movie called Double Mommy.
Oh, that's a nice
Interesting.
pair.
Question number 6. A 30-year-old woman takes on a teenage identity and goes back to high school.
Oh.
Is that Young Again, the Vicky Patterson story, The Senior, or Identity Theft of a Cheerleader?
Anna.
Anna?
Wow.
Young Again, the Vicky Patterson story.
No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Young Again, the Vicky Patterson story. Greg, can you steal?
Can you read the other two again, please?
The Senior,
Yeah.
or Identity Theft of a Cheerleader?
I mean, both of these, I can't believe one of them is the actual answer. So I'm going to go with the one I keep forgetting, which is the first one that you said.
The Senior?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. It was Identity Theft of a Cheerleader.
Wow. Wow. That's
It
wild.
must have been part of a cheerleader series.
Could be. Or an identity theft series. Or a crossover.
That too.
Question number 7. After swearing off dating for a full year, weather girl Leah quickly learns her new commitment has made her a magnet for men.
Ooh.
Is that Love in the Forecast, Cloudy with a Chance at Love, or Dry Spell?
Greg?
Anna.
Greg?
Love in the Forecast?
Correct.
Dry
Did I get you
Spell.
with Dry Spell,
Dry
sweetie?
Spell was very good.
I like that one, yeah.
Question number 8. When a travel agent up for a promotion is directed to forget her tropical vacation and instead visit the world-famous Ice Hotel, she discovers that her sacrifices are more than compensated. Is that Cold Hotel, Warm Heart? Baby, It's Cold Inside? Or Christmas in Reykjavik? Anna?
Christmas in Reykjavik?
No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Christmas in Reykjavik.
Wow, I thought that was going to be
Good.
it. What was the first one?
Cold Hotel, Warm Heart?
Yeah, we'll go Cold Hotel, Warm Heart.
No, I'm sorry, it was Baby, It's Cold Inside.
That is unbelievable to me.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's great.
I
That
gotta
is.
give it up
It's
for Barbara
really
for
good.
that
No, that's
one.
very good.
Yeah.
It's too good to seem real.
I mean, she's a pro. You gotta
Yeah,
say.
she is.
All right, last one. Greg is up by 1 point. It
Oh,
all
boy.
comes down to this.
Oh boy.
2 school teachers take their rivalry to a new level while they scramble to win a holiday baking contest and the affections of a handsome single father. Is that The Christmas Contest, Holiday Rivals, or A Cookie Cutter Christmas?
Anna.
Anna?
A Cookie Cutter Christmas.
Here it is. Yeah.
Correct. It's all tied up.
Hey-oh!
Oh boy.
All right, I'm going to have to do a tiebreaker.
How do we resolve this?
I'm pulling up Barbara Kimlicka's filmography right now.
Good. I was afraid you were going to get some knives and some handkerchiefs.
No. All right, I want you to tell me which one of these 3 movies has the highest rating
Oh,
on
okay.
IMDb.
Okay.
Okay. One of a Kind Love,
Mm-hmm.
Death Saved My Life,
Ooh.
or Christmas on Wheels.
Okay. And we're picking which one is the highest rated?
Yes, Anna, that was your movie, so you can go first.
Okay. Christmas on Wheels.
Okay.
And
Greg?
what was the death one?
Death Saved My Life.
Death Saved My Life.
All right, Greg was closest. The highest rated was One of a Kind with 6.3, Death Saved My Life with 6.0, and Christmas on Wheels with 5.8. Congratulations to Greg. You won the tiebreaker in a squeaker.
Yes.
And on top of that, it's time for the Batty Awards. Now you're messing with 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 the Batty Awards. Congratulations to all the nominees. That's right. Congratulations to the nominees. It's the Batty Awards. But a bigger congratulations, obviously, to the winners. Greg, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah. So I'm going to give my Batty Award to the line that genuinely made me tear up a little bit. And that was, it's like somebody said something like, we're all together now. And they said, which is exactly how Santa planned it. And I like teared up a little bit, and it took me back so much that I didn't even attribute it to a person. I just attributed it to got me. So whoever said that, you got me. Good work.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
that was
Olivia
a nice
the
moment.
child?
I think that's Derek coming in at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
When she's talking to Olivia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Olivia's like,
Yeah. So I
and then
remember
the
that
letter
being a
wound
nice
up in my
moment.
hand because of, and then Derek's like, because that's how Santa planned it.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, yep. And it was
That's what he
just like,
did.
yep. It's like, you can get through it. You can get through it. We're through it, but okay.
Well, I'm going to give my baddie award to Brooke Hesselm, who was the costume designer who looked at the script and saw that there was a gay chef character and then went out and bought a pink chef's jacket.
Yeah.
And was like, got it in one.
Nailed it.
Kudos to
Let's
you,
be
Brooke.
real. She bought a white chef's jacket and some Rit dye.
Yeah,
That's
it could be. Could be. Anna, do you have a baddie award?
I have two. They're small. First, Jillian, played by Gina Holden, an actress, another in the series of people who were on Supernatural. Carry on my wayward son. I imagine she's probably like a Vancouver local.
Yeah.
And the other one goes to the actor who plays Pete, Patrick Freary, who is cutting carrots in one scene. And unlike every actor who's ever cutting things in a movie, he has good knife skills.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, good knife skills, Patrick.
Kudos to you. And kudos to you, listener. You've made it to the end of the episode. What a wonderful time we've had celebrating the holidays. Hopefully you've joined us in the Discord and watched a couple of Christmas movies with us. And hopefully you'll join us next week. Even though it'll be coming out after Christmas, we're going to have one last dose of Christmas for you. We're going to be talking about Mixed Nuts with Mallory and Rebecca Rhine.
Very
Together
excited.
at last, the Rhine sisters.
Very excited.
Yeah, Greg almost picked Mixed Nuts for
Yeah.
his pick. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll be there for that. And in the meantime, you got your phone in your hand. Give us that 5 stars. Give us a comment. Give us a subscribe. Share this episode on your social media and say, boy, I loved it. I listened all the way to the end. And until next week, be good. And goodbye.
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 There is music.
Yeah. Instantly forgettable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so stuck in all that I see.